Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Fletcher, and I'm going to be talking about performance enhancing drugs in sports. Now, performance enhancing drugs has been in sports for generations on time, and I'm going to discuss why we should keep it illegal for athletes to use this. Now, performing enhancing drugs are types of steroids. Now, I'm going to be going over five types of steroids that each athlete uses, which most athletes do use, but usually they just don't get caught. Um, with background information, I'll be giving you, and then hopefully I'll persuade each and every one of you of why they should still stay illegal. Now, I played hockey in Canada for a year, and the situations over there are much different than over here. The drug testing is not as harsh as it is here, so most of the players that I did play with, they did have a competitive advantage over me, but it still doesn't matter. Now, with sports, there's always going to be performing enhancing drugs, or short for PEDs. Now, these PEDs, every player wants to be the best they can be, and by doing that, some players will take these drugs, these performance enhancing drugs. It's called Anavar. Now, Anavar is used mostly with women, and especially in bodybuilding, those athletes. Now, Anavar is a type of drug that is injectable, or you can take pill form. Now, these drugs you do have to get from a doctor, or I know if you're a professional athlete, they have trainers get you it for you. Now, what the main use for Anavar is women in bodybuilding, if they need to shred body fat that they have on them, that Anavar helps them do that. They don't even really have to diet or do much cardio. Now, they can take this drug, which is Anavar, and it will shred their body fat from them. So when they go compete in bodybuilding, that it will be easier for them, because when you do compete in bodybuilding, your testosterone levels will, especially in males, they go really low, and it's really hard for a male to do certain things that the reproductive system or is with Anavar is that with athletes, um, over time, athletes will get like aches or pains in their muscles, or maybe in their joints, in their elbow joints. Now, Anavar will help relieve these pains. Now, over time, you know, the joints take a really bad beating, um, especially like Serena Williams in tennis. Her doing the same motions over and over again, those motions can affect the joints, make them swell up, or some things like that. Now, Anavar prevents that from happening, or it will help improve it quicker than it would taking other. Now, the best part about Anavar is that it has little to no side effects. So most steroids, and I'll go over some of the side effects that steroids do have, but Anavar has little to no side effects, which is why most athletes is DECA. Now, DECA is mainly used in bodybuilding. Now, I still consider them athletes because they work hard for what they do. They frame their body into art, and it's the same thing for hockey. You're framing, you're profess, pro, professing the shot. You're making perfection, and I think bodybuilding they do the same thing. Now, DECA in bodybuilding, um, when these people train for hours and hours out of the day. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger used to train 6 hours a day, and then he would run 5 to 8 miles a day because he played soccer when he was younger. DECA would help these males in growth, so that they would grow muscle quicker. And the thing about DECA is that when you're an old male, when you work out, you tear muscles. So when you work out, you tear a muscle and it rebuilds over it. And if you're eating enough calories and getting enough sleep, the muscle will get bigger. Now, it takes 48 to 72 hours for a male's muscle to rebuild after tearing it by working out. Now, by taking DECA, this is why bodybuilders take this. It takes them 12 to 24 hours to heal. Now, that means, say on a Wednesday, they do biceps. They can do it again on Thursday, and it would grow. Now, that wouldn't be like a regular male. He would have to take 72 hours to do it again, so then it could. The third drug I'll go over is testosterone. Now, everyone has heard of testosterone. Males produce, natural testosterone. Even females produce some testosterone. But males, they produce from anywhere to 250 milligrams to 950 milligrams. It just depends on how active you are and how good your diet is. Now, testosterone, these are used especially in athletes and in bodybuilding, but more in athletes. Testicles. Now, when you increase the testosterone levels in a male, it increases his sex drive, and then it increases his muscle mass density, and it decreases body fat. Now, this is why most athletes take it. Now, when you're on a full season, say baseball, 168 games, 180 games, they get tired over time, their bodies go to crap. Now, taking testosterone will help their longevity throughout this season. That's why you see many baseball players getting caught with taking steroids, and especially testosterone. Now, testosterone can also add in the fact that players, they hold on to weight in the off season, so when they get to their season, they trim down to get faster or thinner, or increase, whatever they need to increase. Now, testosterone helps by maintaining that size. So if they trim down 20 pounds, the testosterone will help them trim that down. While, if a regular male trimmed down 20, if he ate a certain amount of more calories, it would be easier for him to gain it. But if the testosterone that they're taking is increased, at the age of 25, the male's testosterone drops 1% every year. Now, taking testosterone, increasing it, that's why these players do that or take this drug, is that because at 25, their testosterone decreases, and say they hit 30 years old, they want to play until they're 40. Now, they have to take certain drugs like testosterone to play at 40 years old to be like they're 22 years old, so they can keep the money going, because if they're not good, this is the most famous drug. It's HGH. It's human growth hormone. Now, human growth hormone has been found in many athletes. Now, here's a few that you may know. They're well-known athletes. Now, there's Lance Armstrong. He was a professional bicyclist. And then there's Peyton Manning, who was allegedly accused of this but never caught. And then there was Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire. Now, HGH, the body naturally produces this, and so in insulin. Now, insulin and HGH kind of go together. Now, say you work out. After a workout, your human growth hormones and insulin are raised at their top levels. Now, that's why you're supposed to eat a certain amount of protein and carbs after, because the human growth hormone develops that and absorbs it, which makes the human growth hormone better. Mark McGwire, they were very skinny when they first started out playing baseball, and you could see over time that they gained all this weight, and they hit these home runs, and Barry Bonds the home run leader. But the thing is that when you take human growth hormone, especially at a level Barry Bonds did, he could gain up to 70% muscle compared to a 22 or 25-year-old that was trying to do it naturally, even eating enough calories than he needed to. Now, these two athletes, the reason why many people accused Peyton Manning of this is because he sat out a whole year when he was in Indianapolis Colts because of a neck injury, and he had surgery for that. Now, human growth hormone, it can increase your longevity and increase the red blood cells in your body, which help heal the muscles or tissue or joints up to 35% faster than any drug, and by doing this naturally. Now, by doing that, the players will play longer, they'll feel less pain, this will just help them overall, and that's why most of these athletes took it, and that's why they do take it still now. Now, Lance Armstrong, the bicyclist, I'm sorry, he developed testicular cancer. Now, the thing is with that is human growth hormone, that it makes everything grow. So there has been bodybuilders that wear a size 12 shoe, and while they take in HGH, they have gone to a size 15, so their bones even grow. Now, Lance Armstrong, he had any type of cancer cell in his body, it grew because of taking HGH, human growth hormone. Now, if he wouldn't have taken that, who knows, might have never steroids. I gave you all benefits of why it's so good. So I could persuade you into why to keep it, but that's what I'm not going to do. Now, coming from an athletic background, I played 3 sports in high school: baseball, football, and hockey. Played varsity since sophomore year in all 3 of them. Now, kids will do whatever it takes to win or whatever it takes to get a scholarship. And I had friends that took performance-enhancing drugs, and I played at a high level of hockey. Now, I just want to tell you guys and try and persuade you into keeping it illegal, because naturally, people have talent. But if hard work can beat talent, then that's what it takes. Now, those people that are talented and they're getting outworked, they have to take steroids because they don't want to work hard enough for it. And that's what Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire did. They didn't want to work hard for it. They didn't want to wait to be good. They wanted to be good right now. So I got to take these drugs, and these drugs. Now, doing that, it shows the younger generations that they don't have to work hard for anything, that they can just take this certain drug and that it will make you all good and better at sports, and I'm on magazines and I'm hitting home runs. No. If you want to be good at a sport, you work hard at it, and hard work always beats talent. So I hope that steroids will stay out of sports, but if you have money, you can pretty much do and get away with whatever you want. So I hope what I've given you about steroids persuades you into keeping it illegal and out of sports. Thank you.